So I'm in husband mode, and like many husbands, there's a good husband. I was just telling someone, perfect, did it perfect. Now leave it alone. Things my wife has to watch and listen to when she's here, when I'm in a state of you're observing for a moment, but you're not comprehending. And I already know without her even being here. So, preparation and having so many testimonies, so much I could say, but the relevancy to your moment right now is what I'm focused on. Teaching you by example is what I always did. And then being able to perceive, as the scripture stated, he would not allow himself to be received by them because he knew every heart. He did not need man's testimony. So she's experienced all these parts of the gospel. I am Jesus, so it's who I am. The scripture states, and we'll backtrack just a little bit based on some of the comments I received. What I'll normally do, I'll have a billion reasons. And as you speak, 100 million galaxies are formed with the vapor of your breath, the planets formed, or as the scripture states. And he calls them by name. Maybe you're a star to me. You didn't think about that. Oh, my poetry is endless. To be your king, I had to know a lot of misconceptions. I had to know a lot of what people are being exposed to, because that's how I look at it, as the scripture states right here. I have always taught my people use my word. And my word says, whoever denies the Father and the Son, because you have to be looking at it from the perspective, God in the flesh was something they did not expect or comprehend, though those that were readily more allowed money equals schooling, schooling equals a different mindset and environment, attitude, perception of oneself regarding who was already in a position where they could learn more about scripture, they could be in a class, how long they were expected to remain in an educational mindset. There's all kinds of, the easiest way in this day and age, because being king in the flesh, for your easy understanding, Melchizedek, different ages of, and when I say age, I mean sections of how I was loving my people is the type of ruler I was, that I've always been king of whatever humanity was usually pivoting towards either its complete destruction through something that they didn't see that I saw was going to turn into something much, much more either violent, musically, influential, as a side piece to what I was doing, more entwined with the Bible and always kind of intertwining the two, making sure there was some light, some love, some enjoyment, all kinds of things, because the scripture states Jesus Christ holds the seven spirits of God. So they did not really have this notion God would have a son. All similar to how many feel about Michael Brian Thomas, God. Now, of course, with the understanding of how I'm going to be received, I have a heavenly strategy I am employing and have been employing for quite some time. But I'm also walking with Mary and Peter. So, to that point, teaching the finances aspect of things, we're going to have our money dedicated to the kingdom, and we'll have our fun money. What you're doing right now, receiving the promise that I made you, I'm facilitating and a part of it myself. And then your testimonies are going to revolve around my goodness. And then I'm not jumping ahead to all of my plans. They're being revealed moment by moment. When you're looking for an answer right away, more than likely it was already in front of you, or it's been told to you, or I have given you a piece that comes with the answer, which is a piece of the answer. When I stated in the scripture, I have come in my Father's name, but you do not receive me. But another that comes in his own name, you will receive. You have to be looking at all of the misconceptions of those people at that time to all of the misconceptions of the people at this time, to where I said, beware the scribes, to where I said, someone saying, stop, 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 I believe you. You have me, you have me, you have me. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. And you have those phrases, my ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. And you have all of these repeatable and often repeated aspects of how to understand your situation so that you divinely, not a spirit of divination, not a diviner, but you're looking at terms like divine, but you also have to look at, in this age, we went from saying Nami, then in other areas, Yararamin, feel me? Other generations, I'm picking up what you're laying down. For real though, for sure. You would naturally think when I spoke I had intonation, emphasis, and things like that. Always listening to myself. God is spirit. I already knew. And then you have that term, Antichrist. Plainly speaking, the scripture says, whoever does not acknowledge Jesus came in the flesh, does not have the Father, does not have the truth. The truth is not in them. When it is being translated into a language that's from another generation, but you're attempting to divide the word in a way that was oral, then written down, then hidden, then prophets were raised up, then written down. All of the unknown aspects that either cannot be known at this time, or I am waiting to reveal more. All of this before this entire love letter post-it note that I ensured everyone had access to. And the reverent fear of God that is in everyone that went to sleep we'll make this simple, keeping it 2,000 years from the understanding that John had, Peter had, James had, what's described in Matthew, the different purposes of me ensuring it remained exactly the way it is, what it's going to become, all factored into my decision makings. These are the decisions of heaven that you are hearing. Once your king has been promised from the lineage of David, I am, God has kept his promise. He has been proved not to be a liar. That's your most important part. Now, remaining in my love so that your joy may be complete. I promised you would receive all at once. I promised kingdoms. I promised everything that I am doing for you right now. And when I let you learn the hard way, it's out of love. But it also teaches you there is no way to the Father but by me. And we expounded upon that. For the purpose of it being written, he was given the name above all names. When you're reconciling and what I've been trying to teach my prodigals and what I've been trying to teach Mary specifically, don't just do something or say something that comes to you quickly. With your kingdom spouse doing something completely different than you are doing, you are always going to be in that position of seeing what God is doing. And there's a way that I can recognize my own when I'm in person with them, because I put my spirit in them. And then I'm standing right here. And I can hear, which was uncomfortable at first because I didn't like standing in front of people. It's a bit arrogant now that I see it, and I have, stop it, Lord. He grew in wisdom and favor with man. And the scripture states, I am wisdom. I can hear when the Spirit is telling you to do something for me. So, I can also hear when there's a spirit imitating me. Now, your kingdom spouse is not going to be having the same difficulties that you prodigals are having. I'm demonstrating the problems you are having. A king walks with his people. You are in a position where you need and have to, because you have no choice but to trust your kingdom spouse. I love you.